In this video, we'll learn how to select a subject with one click using Canva AI in Affinity. So before making selection, first of all, let's navigate to Canva AI Studio right here. And you can access the Canva AI Studio in Affinity only if you are a Pro member subscriber of Canva AI. After navigating to Canva AI Studio, select the image that we want to select the subject from. Navigate to the select subject icon and click on the icon. Now you can see that the Canva AI is doing its magic and making the selection of the subject by using the AI. Now let's wait for a few minutes. Now you can see that the Canva AI has worked its magic and made the selection automatically with one click. The next step is to navigate to the Pixel Studio at the top. After navigating to the Pixel Studio, all we have to do is select the subject layer and navigate down to Layer Mask and click on the Layer Mask icon. Now after clicking on the Layer Mask icon, you can see that our subject has been masked out. Before that, let me deselect our selection. After deselecting, now you can see that a new layer mask has been made as the mask is selected. Now we need to refine the edges of the selection, and in order to refine the edges of the selection, we can access the refine button by selecting any of the selection tool right at the left toolbar. As soon as you click it, you can see that a refine button appears. And the other way of accessing the refine mask is by right clicking on the mask and then selecting refine mask. After selecting refine mask, you can now see that a refine selection box has appeared. Now let us refine the hair of the subject. And in order to refine, first of all, let us increase the size of the brush a bit. I'll increase it to 180 pixels. Now let's paint at the outside of the hair of the subject. After painting at the edge or outside of the hair of the subject, you will now be able to see that the hair has been refined. After painting at the edges of hair of the subject, you will now see that the hair has now been refined. And in order to refine it further, we need to tweak these settings. So let me zoom in first. And you can zoom in by holding down the command key and pressing on the plus key at your keyboard. Now let's navigate towards the hair. And now you can see that we have a clear picture of the hair. So matte edges simply means automatically softening or refining the edges of our selection, which we'll simply check in this particular selection. The next setting that we have is the border width setting, which we can control to refine the selection. As you can see, the border width simply refers to the width of the border of the selection. In this case, I'll simply keep it as, let's say, 7 for now. And the other setting that we have is the smooth setting. The smooth setting simply smooths out the shape of the selection. The other setting that we have is the feather. We can simply adjust the feather. And the feather simply refers to the blurriness at the edge of the selection. However, I'll keep it as 0 for now. And the ramp option means whether we want our selection inside of the subject or outside of the subject. So when the value is at the negative, it means our selection will be inside of the subject. And with the value positive, the selection will cover or trespass outside of the subject. So I'll keep it at 0 for now. And the adjustment brush settings that we have simply refers to the settings of the brush. The final and most important setting we have is color decontamination. And if you observe at the edges of the hair, you can see that when color decontamination is checked, it fixes the color at the edges of the hair of the subject. So as for this video, you are not able to see any changes at the edges of the hair. However, if we change the background, then it will be visible. So we can change the background of preview to, let's say, we can change it to black matte, and let's turn this color decontamination off. Now, can you see that the edges of the fringes of the hair is withholding the color of its previous background, which is white? So if we click on the color decontamination, it will simply fix that and make the overall color of the fringes of the hair to the actual color of the hair, which is gray or brown. So after we are satisfied with it, let's change the output to new decontaminated layer with mask to create a new layer with mask and hit on the apply button. Now as soon as we hit the apply button, you can see that our selection has been made and the subject is looking quite fitting with the background. So if I zoom in, you can see that in the dark background, the fringe of the hair retains the color from its original background, which was white. So this is the before if you look here, and this is the after. So this is how you can make the selection of a subject with one click using Canva AI in Affinity. If you find this video helpful, please click on the like button, and for more tips and tricks related to Affinity, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next video.